for the next match of the day. This is something that I've been anticipating for a long time. The next match is going to be Chris Tan versus Lim Cobra. The build up to this match on Instagram with all of their interestingly versed posts have been incredibly entertaining, to say the least, I think. Christopher Tan versus Cobra, their nicknames, Christopher Tan is Commando and Lim Cobra is just Cobra. I think that this is going to be an easy flash from Christopher Tan again. If you guys haven't checked out their Instagram stories, you should definitely go. The backstory is that basically there were some exchanges in images and videos where I think that Cobra is slightly threatening Christopher Tan with something more than just beating him in arm wrestling, maybe beating something else of Chris Tan's. So that's slightly alarming for the Singapore team here. We hope to not have any devastating injuries apart from our arms. Now, he's here to avenge Mark Renzi's loss. Mark Renzi is another Filipino athlete that was originally the #1 under 70 kilo lightweight, but has recently dropped in rankings to around #4. Lim Cobra, he is looking in good shape. He's looking in good shape. He, as with most of the Filipino athletes here, they are slightly shorter than all of the Singapore athletes. Generally, they have shorter levers as well. And now we have Christopher Tan. He's somewhere around the top 12 on right in Singapore, or top 12 to top 10. I actually have a super match with Chris Tan in February as well. And Chris Tan heading up right now. He has a height advantage and he has a technical advantage. Christopher Tan has been doing some Devin Lorrat style, now has a roll sword handed to Lim Cobra just now. Incredible move by Christopher Tan. I think that that's what makes Chris so great. Chris, I mean, he is just an incredible athlete. He's towering over Lim Cobra right now. It's just appalling how dominantly Team SG has and is going to win all of the matches so far. We can see Christopher Tan. Christopher Tan usually has more of an advantage in his pronation. His Devon pronation lift has gotten to 47 kilos or just above 105 pounds. This is an incredible feat. And Lim Cobra, he has just recently beat Matthew Wong, one of our other somewhere around top 12 to top 15 pullers in a super match recently in Philippines recently. And I mean, that was a long and hard fought battle between both athletes. I think Christopher Tan's level, however, is slightly above Matthew Wong. And now they're going up against each other. We can see Christopher Tan. The room is silent. Christopher Tan, Cobra got the, and they're off. And that's a slip. Cobra did not even move off center by a single bit. Christopher tried to drive to the side. I think that it's still relatively 50-50, but people are going to be more confident in Cobra for now. I think Cobra and Christopher Tan, both of them have been preparing extremely hard for multiple months up to this event. I mean, it's a best-of-3 as well, so this is going to test their strength, relatively speaking, more than their endurance. We can see that the straps are being put on right now, and Christopher, he's an extremely kind guy, but also he has some mental tricks and games up his alley. So I think that his table IQ is extremely high as well. He is probably using some of these techniques. You can see that he's loading up. He's using his back pressure. He's trying to gain an advantageous position and get that head start on his pronation to crack Lim Cobra's wrist back. It still looks relatively fair and even right now. Lim Cobra's arm looks, I mean, incredible. Just incredible.
Singapore first, okay?
Christopher Tan with his signature setup. He has his arm poised up top, and he is loaded and ready to go. While Lim Cobra is more relaxed, his shoulders are also squared, and they're off. And that's a close pin by Christopher Tan, but he's still working. And that's elbow foul on Lim Cobra. But that was an incredible stop. That's an incredible stop from Christopher Tan when it looked almost like Team Singapore had no hope left in this match. I mean, Lim Cobra kind of just drove to the side, and Christopher Tan, I mean, this is complementary to his Devin Lorrat style training. He cracked his wrist back slightly, and his pronation just cracked Lim Cobra's.
Do not move. Do not move. Do not move.
Go!
that's another win for Christopher Tan. Now it's just 1-0.
He didn't touch, right? He didn't touch his shoulder, right?
It seems like Chris is going to be doing something to Cobra instead of Cobra doing something to Chris. I mean, earlier Cobra was threatening Chris with something in the bedroom, but I think Cobra is maybe getting some anxiety here, and his performance may not be up to par with all of his claims. Cobra, I mean, he made giant claims that he was going to do unspeakable things to Christopher Tan in the bedroom, but I think now the turns have tabled. I think that Christopher Tan is in a much better spot here. His explosiveness, his leverage advantage, his setup, his explosiveness. I think everything is just.
Now it's level. I'll close Singapore first. Both of you shoulders. Both of you shoulders.
Everything is just on par and on point.
Square your shoulders. Okay. Singapore. Okay. This is okay. I will close.
Now Christopher is loading up. You can see the clear leverage and height advantage by Christopher Tan. And now he's getting close first. Then Cobra is getting close second. And it's a go, and that's a slip. It's clean. Cobra, he's slightly getting a little bit angry right there. Just pounded the table like he said he was going to pound Chris Tan, but I don't think that's happening today. I think Cobra may be getting pounded instead. Now,
this is good. Don't play. T, can you pull them down? Here, okay.
Okay, sure. Okay, they are currently getting the straps on, and T-Jun, our down ref here, is maintaining the fact that both of their wrists are completely straight and that it's a fair setup. However, for me, I feel that this ref grip starting thing, it speeds up the process, but it might compromise Hazmi. Yeah, this is T-Jun though. And Hazmi is putting on the straps, and it seems like they've finished putting on the straps, and they're starting to agree to a grip.
Shoulder, both of you, shoulders.
Christopher Tan is standing tall. He is ready. Both athletes are strapped up, and Christopher is getting close first, and Lim Cobra is getting close next. Oh, and that's a quick press from Christopher Tan, and that's a. Let's wait for the referee's decision. Oh, and that's a foul for Christopher Tan.
Shoulder touch your head, one foul. Okay. I need to be on this side. This is center, okay, Chris?
So Chris has to be extra careful right now. I think although it's 1-0, Chris cannot be too boastful. I think Cobra still might attack back and sting Chris in the backside in the bedroom. So Chris is setting up. Cobra is getting close first on this time. And it's a go, and there's a hit from Cobra. But Chris gets a stop. Chris is looking at Cobra right now. He's shouting at him. He is holding. He is working. Look at his pronation. He's going inside and outside. It's not extremely working that well, but he's holding on to Cobra. Cobra can do nothing right now. It is a hard-fought battle between the two athletes. Cobra's angle is open well, while Christopher is going into the inside game. He's going for a fall position. And it seems like Chris is getting worked out, and it's almost a pin. But Chris is holding on. Chris is extremely sticky for the bottom, and it's a win for Cobra. Currently 1-1 for each athlete.
1 minute.
Intense match. I think that was one of the best rounds we've seen so far today. That was one of the best rounds we've seen so far today. We're going to have a 2-minute rest before they resume. From what we've seen earlier, I think both of these athletes are extremely even with each other. However, I think that Chris, he has that holding power. He has an extreme stickiness at the bottom that maybe Cobra was slightly lacking in the beginning. This is going to be our second to last undercard match before we're going to have Zaki versus Calvin Santos, and then we're going to be moving on to the main matches. I think that what we've seen today so far is extremely interesting. We just got the stream back up. We can see Sean Lim, short
15
Sean.
seconds,
He
15
is
seconds.
he is in Chris's corner and he is helping him massage his arm. Sean here is the leader of TSP, which is one of the official sponsors for SC for our Southeast Asian Cup. Both athletes seem or appear to be ready. Christopher Tan looks to be towering over Lim Cobra.
You have no hold down also.
And both athletes are setting up.
Okay. One win for each of you. Whoever wins this round will win this again.
It's a 1-1 match. I mean, this is where all of the marbles is at. Christopher Tan and Lim Cobra, they're both setting up right now. Again, Christopher Tan, his entire style has adapted to one of Devin Larat's. He's trying to get all of the riser and pronation that he can. He's setting up extremely high, trying to take everything in the wrist away from Lim Cobra. And we can see the roving cam. Oh my god. Okay. Go. And Christopher Tan's close, and that's a slip. It seems like a large slip. Oh, it's an elbow foul for Christopher Tan. An elbow foul. I think that was intentional. That was a well-played move by Lim Cobra of holding on to Chris because he knew Chris was going to hit harder than before and try to gain some type of advantage or try to bring Cobra down to the pad even without the straps. And maybe Christopher just used a little bit too much force there and dragged a little bit too far. And now they're setting up once again. Christopher is staring at Cobra. Go! There's one more. It seems like there's one more elbow foul. And that is a win for Lim Cobra. It's always unfortunate when we see an athlete get eliminated or lose a match because of fouls. Same thing with the Ken versus Shijie fight earlier. It is relatively unfortunate.
I dive in the shark tank this time for you.
How are you feeling? He's tired. What do you want next? You'll fight whoever.
I want middle and heavy.
He doesn't want 70 kg, he wants middleweights and heavyweights now. Ladies and gentlemen, Lim Cobra!